Hello. Sound check.
Wow.
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 Greetings, it's February 2020. I cannot believe we're at another season already. We just got through January and now we're here. So I would love to introduce you to two new paintings. I have two guests today. Hello. We have Drew and Amy. And they both have a big impact in our community, so I invited them here to tell you a little bit about their story and how it relates to this month's painting. We're going to start with the painting behind me, which is a collaborative piece that I do with my friend Yvonne Sanders. It's part of the Sunshine and Grit collection. It is called Party Dog. So that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
Party dog. It's the party dog. We've been looking for people every month to curate our pieces who kind of capture the essence of that piece. And so when I saw Amy and Drew dancing at the party, and you guys were pretty much the only people dancing at the party.
It happens
sometimes. Yeah. And so my eye caught the bottom of Amy's dress, and as she was twirling around and laughing and having fun, and you guys were just like interacting together, that line of her dress, the movement really sent me right to this underline of the dress of the main figure in Party Dog. And I was thinking right then, well, this would be the perfect match for Party Dog and the perfect people to represent the energy of this piece of art. And that was before I knew anything else about Amy's story, and then how Drew fits into Amy's story. So as I began talking with Amy, she really saw herself in one of the characters, and it just is always a reminder that the universe is working and conspiring for us and bringing us together to meet the right people at the right time. I didn't really have a huge backstory for this painting. Yvonne and I were just simply having fun, and the energy of that dress, the energy of that movement. We knew it was about healing and movement, and that was really about it. So with that, take over and tell us your story.
Well, when you sent me a picture of this painting, immediately the woman over on that side definitely reminded me of myself. In 2013, when this was painted, I had half of my face paralyzed for 2.5 years. I would take pictures a lot, and they would only look like this because then I wouldn't look so deformed. Her eye, it reminded me of pain and hope. You can see it. I look, and it's like you can see the tears that are fighting to come back. And when I was living in chronic pain, it takes you to a place where you have to come to terms with good and evil, and right and wrong, and love and hate. Because there were times that I would look at my life and I would see the beauty, yet I couldn't feel it. I could see the love and I couldn't feel it. And it was also the same time that you painted this was the month that I started dancing in order to heal. And dancing's been a huge part of my whole healing process. And learning how to move, there was so long that my body physically couldn't move, and I had to break out of it. I had to force it to do what it needed to do. And Drew's been a huge part in encouraging me to move and to dance and to be free, to express myself. And that has been extremely important in my healing process as well. So yeah, definitely when you showed me this, I saw myself in there. Healing, it's in us, it's in love. And when love connects all of us, you can break out of hell. You can break out, but we need each other.
Right.
Yeah.
We need those that will come in. We need the party dogs.
Yeah, we do.
We need that. We need to break out of that. And we need those people that will be silly, that will blow bubbles in our face. Love bubbles. Healing bubbles.
Love bubbles.
Love bubbles.
No, it's so true. I love it.
Yeah, and healing is possible for everyone, anywhere. And as you can see, through my healing journey, I got my face back. It took a long time. I have been living pain-free for 3 years now. I'm 12 sizes smaller than I was 3 years ago. You know, movement, dance, plants, using what the earth has given us, taking care of the earth so that we can use what has been provided for us right here, right now. Mm-hmm. We all have that capacity.
Right.
And we all need party dogs to help bring us out from the ashes.
That's right. That's right. This month we're talking about love, and I know that that's kind of a cliche because it's February, but it's not a cliche because I want to take the conversation deeper and what love means in terms of healing and in terms of movement, and in terms of connecting through each other and art. I mean, I definitely think that the artists and the healers, their keen sensitivity is what gives them that gift.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
like, if you would like to speak into
so
what you do, maybe you'd like to say a little how you...
I do a lot.
I knew.
I do a lot, and I'm a yoga instructor, and I also I'm a massage therapist. I love to dancing.
Artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I do liquid art and things like that. So I want to zoom out a little bit and just talk about love for a moment. I think that saying that love is cliche in the month of February, I think that the myopic understanding of romantic love is really cliche, and it needs to be done away with. Like, we're in a time in human history where we don't need to be looking for one other person. We need to be connecting to humanity as a larger whole and saying, like, yes to being neighbors. Love is the great healer. Like, love covers a multitude of pain, right? So I think when I make art, or when I teach a public class, or I do public speaking, or I speak at a church or whatever, it's always based around an invitation into relationship, because love is the core human need, and love doesn't happen outside of relationship in a meaningful way. Right? You can have kind of like a vague notion of caring for someone, but love is exchanged through like words and actions and service and all of the things that take place inside of relationship. Art that needs to be cultivated in the world is the practice of connection. Absolutely. Right? And so like you're collaborating on a piece, and making art is very vulnerable, even if you're being playful. You know, you're saying like, this is what I got.
Right.
Like, and I'm looking at what you got, and I'm saying yes to what you got, and I'm doing this thing over here. And now we've done this thing together, and we've said yes to each other, and like we've said yes to our process, and I'm saying yes to your process while you're saying yes to my process. And I think that is so incredibly important. And that kind of diversity of just two people coming together and saying yes to each other's process and getting in one rhythm together is really incredibly important. And that's what we need to practice as humans if we're going to survive global warming, the fall of the Western Empire, or whatever. like let's face ourselves.
Numerous different things.
And here's the thing: is that we are a society that is so bent on consumerism, and it's built on this scarcity model of, if you don't have this, then you're not really alive, or you have less value, or you're not fully experiencing something until you're in this car. You know, like,
Right.
that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think that we have to recognize and hold up love as a necessity. And I just think that any way that love can come out, if you can put love into the world by painting something with another human being, then you need to do that.
Right.
Like, we
Yes.
have to. The human family has to fall in love with ourselves, we have to fall in love with each other, and we have to fall in love with the earth if we're going to live on a planet that we find worth fighting for and worth saving. Right now, art, poetry, articulation of what it means to be human is so incredibly important, because the human family, we have to remember what is good about being alive.
Right.
We don't just need to remember, we have to live inside of what is good.
Right.
We have to be with other people in a way that is healing, that is open, that is vulnerable, where good things can actually grow. Because the earth is a place where good things grow. Like, this little rock in space is just bursting with life. If we fucking die because of global warming, this thing will still be living and producing things. Like, we have to be in the rhythm of the Earth's explosion of life. That's what humanity is capable of. We are capable of loving each other in such deep and beautiful ways that it makes its own landscape, right? And we have to make a different landscape. We have to, because I want to live, and I don't want to live in a world that isn't based on love.
A point that Amy and I talked on the other day that seems really important to mention, especially in this month. Love has such a broad definition for everyone, and there are a lot of people who are hurting around that topic, around that word, around that month, around
It's terrifying.
We have to practice, like you said, connecting. We have to practice our voice and like giving voice to our story. We have to practice, like, I know that for me, that's why I started my art journey in this first place, is because I could make pictures of things I couldn't talk about.
Yes.
And it was a language where I could, that you can say 1,000 words with a picture. Well, you could say stories and stories and stories without having to say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And for me, that was my first language.
Art has helped me. There are things I can take pictures the way that I was not able to before. I can capture things that I can capture words and pictures and put them together. And so that's been a huge part of the healing process, because my brain changed.
Yeah.
And I've had to change with it. And everyone around me has had to learn how to change with it as well. And we've all had to be patient with each other because there's been a lot of change. And change is neither good nor bad. Change is just change. And it's a part of life, and it's a part of something that every single one of us have to go through. But when you can weave love into the change, and you can bring art into your change, you can bring music into your change, you can bring dance into your change, you can bring all of those into the change, and love starts forming this web of beauty that far exceeds happiness.
It's really about keeping your heart open and your spirits alive.
Absolutely.
So, thank you. Love
Thank you.
makes the world go round. So,
Woo!
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Blessings to you.
Yes, same. Now I'm here to introduce you to Sneasel, a personal painting of mine from the Meet the Artist collection. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I just got nothing but love for Sneasel. I was gifted Sneasel when I was about 3 years old. Sneasel was as big as I was, but Sneasel and I have gone through so much together, and I wanted to bring him out for February, and my favorite part of the Sneasel story, I have to bring it, and I'm sorry, Mom. I got him when I was like 3. I rode him into the ground like 4, 5, 6, 7. I still had Sneasel, still playing with him like 8, 9, 10. I'm still playing with Sneasel. My mom came to help me spring clean my room, and she sees this ratty giant dog. She like throws him in the trash. She like pulls the trash can into my room. She puts the dog in the trash can, and I'm like, Sneasel! So then she leaves thinking that my room's all tidy. So I go to the trash and I save Sneasel out of the trash can. So then like maybe 2 years later, my mom comes back in for the big, mom sweep clean. She sees Sneasel and she's like, wait, what? I threw that dog away. She throws him away again. I saved Sneasel. So then fast forward to like I'm going off to college and I have a storage unit and my mom's helping me move at the storage unit. She looks over and she was like, Shannon, are you kidding me with that damn dog? I totally thought I threw that thing away. And I'm like, Sneasel. So Sneasel lives. To now be making Sneasel on all these products. I find it so amusing that Sneasel's everywhere and Sneasel's gonna live like forever. And it's literally the joy of art is that Sneasel, my mom can never throw them all away. When you give your Valentine those big fluffy dogs, like never underestimate a gift that people can pour into their love. Even as a small child, I'm an only child, and I think that it's really important to remember that you gifting kids anything that keeps them in the play mode is such a gift of life. You're just giving them endless hours of energy and love. Sneasel, I just literally have so much love for the thing. So I think that as much as love is about human connection, sometimes having inanimate objects also reminds us about connection. And it can be a reminder of a loved one. It can be a symbol of a loved one or a symbol of love. Happy Valentine's Day. Give us Sneasel. And thank you for listening to our stories. We hope that you find value in what we bring to you every single month, and we make it with love. And happy love season, and happy art wearing. Ciao for now.